राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गोपी जना यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी आया गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Shri Shri Radha Madhava ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki Srila Prabhupada ki Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. This morning we are discussing on one special topic. You can see this. Today is 12th March, right? 12th March, this is the topic for today. How can we have to be responsible and detached while living at home simultaneously? So we will take verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam now. Dharma swanashtita pumsam Vishvaksena kathasuyaha Notpadayet yadiratim Shramaye vahi kevalam. All Prabhujis together. Dharma svanushtita pumsam Vishvaksena kathasuyaha Notpadayet yadiratim Shramaye vahi kevalam. All Matajis together. Thank you. Dharmaha, occupation. Svanushtitaha, executed in terms of one's position. Pumsam, of humankind. Vishvaksena, the personality of Godhead. Plenary portion. Kathasu, in the message of. Yaha, what is? Na, not. Utpadayet, thus produce. Yadi, if. Ratim, attraction. Shramaha, useless labor. Eva, only. He, certainly. Kevalam, entirely. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The occupational activities a man performs according to his own position are only so much useless labor if they do not provoke attraction for the message of the personality of Godhead. Purport: there are different occupational activities in terms of a man's different conceptions of life. To the gross materialist who cannot see anything beyond the gross material body, there is nothing beyond the senses. Therefore, his occupational activities are limited to concentrated and extended selfishness. Concentrated selfishness centers around the personal body. This is generally seen amongst the lower animals. extended selfishness is manifested in human society and centers around the family, society, community, nation, and the world with a view to gross bodily comfort. So, let me. So, what is extended sense gratification? Is it big enough for you? You can see it? Yeah. So, instead of enjoying alone, we expand our self to include family, community, society, or nation. But the center is still whose enjoyment? My enjoyment, not Krishna's pleasure. It looks noble externally, but internally the center is still selfishness. See, for example, let us take personal to family. A man works very hard and says, I am not selfish. I am doing everything for my children. But the hidden thought is, my children's success is my happiness. My family name should become great. मेरा बेटा अमेरिका में पढ़ रहा है. किसका बेटा? हाँ. Finally, it comes to fun. So, center is my satisfaction through family. So, that is why it's called extended sense gratification. This is not pure selflessness because it is extended ego. First, our ego is only for our own body, then our ego extends to our bodies of our blood relatives. Then, now family to community extension. Someone says, I want my caste people or my group, like in IIT, there was a Telugu Sangha, Tamil Sangha, Kannadiga Sangha, Malayalam Sangha. That is my people to prosper. It sounds very generous, but the inner feeling is, my group should win. My people should dominate. Still the center is mine, because again the mine is there. Community to nationalism. A person says, I don't care for myself. I live for my nation. But he identifies, I am this nation. He identifies the nation. So when nation wins, like India-Pakistan match, India wins, people feel proud. No. We won. So that ahankar is going from me to the whole nation. When nation loses, he feels hurt. Like, boys become feverish when such matches happen. Why they become feverish? Because very much our ego is associated with the nation. Yeah. Like, for example, once when India won in Indo-Pak match, they put Sachin Tendulkar on a chariot and they put Krishna driving him. They made a cutout. Instead of Arjuna, they put Sachin in the place of Arjuna. Instead of holding Dhanush Band, Sachin was having a cricket bat. And then they garlanded and everything and all. Next year when India lost the match, they burnt all the effigies of the cricketers, the whole cricket team. You can see them. So which means people identify with success and failure, connected to nation to be their own. So when nation wins, he feels proud. When nation loses, he feels hurt. This is expanded bodily identification. Still it is sense gratification, not on a small scale, but on a larger scale, bigger scale. Now, religious extended gratification, even in spiritual circles, I want my institution to grow. My preaching group should become biggest. My name should be recognized as a great devotee. Externally devotional, but internally subtle ego. This is very refined extended sense gratification. For example, somebody says, I am a Hindu, I am a Muslim, I am a Christian. Prabhupada says, this is material religion. Why? The spiritual religion is the dharma of the soul for God. And soul is very similar in all the bodies. Is there a difference between Christian soul and Hindu soul and Muslim soul? No, all souls are similar. Similarly, God also. Is there an Indian son and American son? Son is only one. So is Krishna only father of Indians or all Americans also? He is father of all species, he says. Sarvayo nishakateya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyonir aham bija pradakapita. I am father of even, aquatics and birds and reptiles and animals, everybody, plants also. He is father of everybody. Krishna is for everyone. That's why Prabhupada distributed Krishna to everyone. And he went out of India. In America, Prabhupada said, I have not come here to make you Christians into Hindus. He said, if you cannot chant Hare Krishna, you chant whatever name of God is given in your scripture, you can chant. Prabhupada said, the capital God is only one. It is not that there is a fight going on the top between different religious gods. That's a very, very neophyte understanding. Sun is only one. So, in that way, the religious riots which happen between one religion and another, that's all because of material religion. Spiritual religion means the dharma of the soul. Yeah. Now, similarly, I am one BV leader, Bhakti Vriksha leader, you are one Bhakti Vriksha leader. I have my group, you have your group. Sometimes people say, don't go to that group, come to our group. Both are in the same area preaching sometimes. It can happen like that, isn't it? Our group, we give better training, come here. Right now? That means, my group means who? It is me only. Me extends to my group, correct? No? Yeah. So in this way we can have, similarly, our temple, your temple. This is called main tu tu. Right now? Our temple is best temple. So we have a temple ego also we can have. Yeah, group ego, temple ego, we can have. All this is extended sense gratification. That is why, like as Grace Sahadev Prabhu was telling, in Secunderabad, there is one ISKCON temple. Around that ISKCON temple, there are 12 churches. Just all around. If you go to the terrace and see red symbol, you see, So he was telling, but these 12 fellows have a very good understanding. If one person goes instead of going to this church, he goes to that church, the other fellow will give him some prasad and tell him, see, nearest to your house is the other church, and I'll give you one contact of one brother there. Go and meet him. It's right behind your house. You can go there. They mutually help each other. So then we can flourish. If you pull each other's leg, I pull your leg, you pull my leg, we both fall down. We cannot expand our activities. Correct? Huh? So actually, whether you are a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim, if you become very refined in consciousness, then our movement will expand in a very powerful manner also. So, because nowadays people are feeling that there is adequate information available on internet nowadays. You all agree? Whether it is YouTube, whether it is Instagram, or whether it is ChatGPT is also available. You can get any information under the sun nowadays. Information is not a problem. Similarly, money is also there, like river. Many people have money, and people will give you land also. People are giving land. Some temples are ready-made temples. Are saying take it and maintain it. But one thing which is very rare is good devotees. And good quality, very refined and pure-hearted devotees are extremely rare. So Prabhupada said, one devotee becomes pure, they can really have a powerful influence. One Dhruva, when he became purified, he influenced the whole universe. One Prabhupada influenced the whole world, even in his old age. You can see that. So that is why this kind of subtle extended ego has to be given up. So Dhritarashtra did not say, I want personal enjoyment. What he said, Dhritarashtra said? He said, my son should get the kingdom. But the root was, my lineage must rule. See? You can see the ego. It was personal attachment extended through the sons. So you can ask the question, if Krishna desires something different from what I want for my family or nation, will I accept it? If the answer is no, then center is not Krishna. See, it's a very good question. You can ask this reflection question. If Krishna desires something different from what like for example, recently the NEET examination, one father wanted his son to prepare for NEET and then become a doctor. But the son wanted to become a artist. He wanted to join some college of fine arts and become an artist. Father said, what is artist? Useless profession. He said, in our family there are 15 doctors. I am doctor, my wife is doctor, my mother is doctor, father doctor, your uncle is doctor, aunt is doctor, grandfather, everybody is doctor. You also should become doctor. And the boy, for the father's sake, wrote the NEET exam and he cracked it also. He got a very good mark. Showed the father, see, not that I cannot score. I have the talent, but I'm not interested. I'm interested in becoming an artist. Because the father forced him, that boy committed suicide. It came in paper. So, why? Because the father wanted what sense gratification? Extended, yeah. He wanted to show the world that my beta be doctor. I am doctor, my beta doctor. So, therefore, if Krishna desires something different from what I want for my family and nation will they accept? And what is not extended sense gratification? See this one, very important point. When the center becomes, how will Krishna be pleased? Huh? For example, Arjuna did not want to fight in the beginning, but when Krishna desired it, he agreed. That is pure devotion. This is a very simple criteria. Do I want, sometimes people say that, I have no, desire at all. I just want to see Krishna is pleased. But actually, you can see that their ego is speaking sometimes. People may say that. So therefore, objectively, somebody should see that this person wants to only please Krishna. See, extended sense gratification means I am the center. Krishna consciousness means who is the center? Krishna is the center. Extended sense means my happiness through family, nation, all that. Whereas Krishna consciousness means Krishna's happiness first. Now, extended sense gratification means bodily identification is expanded. Whereas Krishna consciousness, spiritual identity is awakened. This is attachment based, that is seva based. Correct now? See, here I told you the example. Parent forcing child into, these are all practical modern examples, see, into career or family prestige. Or politicians sacrificing ethics for national pride. Devotee doing seva mainly for recognition. Charity work done for the name and fame and all these things. So, instead of thinking, how will I be happy, my family be happy, nation be happy, we should ask, how will Krishna be happy? When Krishna is, there was one BV leader. That BV leader's wife had one friend. These two ladies were thick friends in the college days. But then they both passed out, they became part of one community. And then this lady was one of the days sitting with her husband. The husband was telling her, hey, do you know your friend? Now she has become a sector leader now. We are only, BV leader, but above one leader there is a sector leader, correct now? One sector leader takes care of 4-5, I think, is it? 4-5 people under. So the husband was telling the wife, don't you feel uneasy that you have to work under your friend? College days you both were equals, but now she has become sector leader. So the husband suggested, let us leave this Bhakti Vriksha program, give it to somebody else, and let us do more in deity department. He said, wife was telling, why do you feel bad about working under her? We have 2 children we have to raise, and she has no children. She's free. She has more time, and so more hard work she's doing, and she's leading very nicely, many groups. His wife told, I don't feel anything uneasy to work under her. She's my good friend. She's very understanding also. But who was facing ego problem? Husband was facing ego problem. That's it. And she was telling, by our withdrawing from this program, all the people will stop coming. So now about 20 people are coming. So you stop and go to deity department, you don't do preaching. Then the group gets closed down. Correct, no? So this fellow's ego was affecting the mission. You can see that? Husband's ego was affecting the mission. But wife's freedom from ego was saving the mission. You can see that. So therefore, we all have to be very careful not to become victim of this extended ego. When Krishna is happy, everyone is automatically benefited. Just like watering the root nourishes all leaves. Like, in the Honda company, one young boy joined, very brilliant, genius boy joined. And within a week, he asked his boss, sir, what is this? You guys are going for water-cooled engine. It's increasing the weight of the machine. You could have gone for air-cooled engine. And then he submitted a file showing how air-cooled engines can save a lot of weight of this thing, and the product cost will become cheaper also, much cheaper. And the boss was so angry. He said, I am working in this company 20 years. You are a 2-day toddler and you are giving this thing. So he threw him out of the job. Somehow the file reached to the top. Mr. Honda took the file and gave it to R&D department, and they said, sure enough, it's a very good idea. They said, our company can save crores of rupees. We'll make big profits. So immediately Mr. Honda called for him and made him a very big, gave him a big position in the company. He became boss of the boss. The old boss who threw him out, he became his boss now. So the boss was very ashamed. And very soon, within 3-4 years, this fellow became the CEO of the company. His name is Dr. Tadashi Kume. He became. So that means his immediate boss's ego was spoiling the success of the company. Correct, no? But when the Mr. Honda who started the company, I mean, he was free from that type of reservation and learning from a subordinate. Correct, no? Because of that, he could offer him the CEO post and recognize the talent even in a junior. Correct, no? So in this way, see here, very important point. Material life means expanding the false ego. Spiritual life means dissolving the false ego. Extended selfishness still keeps the false ego intact. Bhakti means shifting our center from me and mine to Krishna and his service. This essence. You want to shift that. That's what was said in that other purport we were reading now. You know, somebody may say, I don't want anything for myself. I just want my child to be an engineer or a doctor. That's why I'm pushing my child to become engineer and bring fame to me. You know? Ultimately, that's the extended ego only. Yeah. So, in the Dharma Svanishtita Pumsam verse we were reading just now, we'll go back to that verse. Prabhupada saying, concentrated selfishness centers around the personal body. This is generally seen among the lower animals. Extended selfishness is manifested in a human society centered around family, society, community, nation, all that. And then Prabhupada is saying, above these gross materialists or mental speculators who hover aloft in mental spheres, and their occupational duties involve making poetry and philosophy or propagating some ism with the same aim of selfishness limited to the body and mind. So bodily dharma, mental dharma. So jati, if one sees it is bodily, correct now? And mental speculation and adhuni kavita and all this is mental speculation. But above the body and mind is a dormant spirit, soul, whose absence from the body makes the whole range of bodily and mental selfishness completely null and void. But less intelligent people have no information of the needs of the spirit soul. Because foolish people have no information of the soul, how it is beyond the purview of the body and mind. They are not satisfied in the performance of their occupational duties. The question of the satisfaction of the self is raised herein. The self is beyond the gross body and subtle mind. He is the potent active principle of the body and the mind. Without knowing the need of the dormant soul, one cannot be happy simply with emolument of the body and mind. The body and mind are but superfluous outer coverings of the spirit soul. It's like a shirt and a banyan, and you are different from both. The body and the mind are but superfluous outer coverings of the spirit soul. The spirit soul's needs must be fulfilled. Simply by cleansing the cage of the bird, one cannot satisfy the bird. One must actually know the needs of the bird himself. The need of the spirit soul is that he wants to get out of the limited sphere of material bondage and fulfill his desire for complete freedom. He wants to get out of the covered walls of the greater universe. He wants to see the free light and the spirit. That complete freedom is achieved when he meets the complete spirit, the personality of Godhead. There is a dormant affection for God within everyone. Spiritual existence is manifested through the gross body and mind in the form of perverted affection for gross and subtle matter. Which means, actually love of God is there in the soul. But when the love of God comes through the mind and body, it is directed towards, family, society, relationship, friendships and all those things. And people forget their original relationship with the Lord. And therefore, we have to engage ourselves in occupational engagements that will evoke our divine consciousness. Like what are the occupational engagements? For example, you are a Brahmana, then you have Brahminical duties. Then we have Kshatriya, we have Vaishya and Shudra. So in Gita, Lord Krishna doesn't say you give up your occupation and surrender to me immediately, which is not possible for everybody. So therefore he says, do the occupational duties and then keep offering the fruits to me and gradually you get purified, about which we will discuss today, how to do that. So, any occupational duty which does not help one to achieve attachment for hearing and chanting the transcendental message of Godhead is said herein to be simply a waste of time. Negayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate na tirtapada sevayai jivan napi mrito hi saha. That's the verse in Bhagavatam. It says, Negayat karma dharmaya. If you are doing work, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra work, but you are not dharmic, then your life is useless. Let me tell you one true story, in the Puranic story. There was one Brahman who was doing his Brahmana Dharma very nicely. Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Patan, Dan, Patikra. He was doing, studying scriptures, teaching scriptures, worshipping deity, and offering people some teaching and all that. One day, one king became very happy with this Kaushik. This Brahman's name was Kaushik. Became happy with this Brahman and gave him lot of lands and cows to him in charity. And having become very rich now, this Brahman turned his attention to starting a dairy for the milk cows. He started selling the milk, making money. He started selling the grains and everything, started making a lot of money, built a big house, with a lot of facility and amenities now. Gradually, he became very materialistic. His study of the Shastra reduced. His spending time with the deities reduced. His puja and everything became reduced. He became more or less like materialistic person. One day, one sage came passing by. He saw the cows roaming, and he asked the Brahman, "Brahman, can I get one glass of milk, please?" He said, "Yes, I can give you a glass of milk, but you have to pay for it." He said. Sage said, "Really? Nobody has till date asked me for any payment. We are poor, we are simple sages. I am Brahmana, I am passing by. I thought you have so many cows." He said, "Yes, I have a lot of cows, but I have a dairy now. We don't give free, you have to pay." So the sage said, "You have become very materialistic. Because of too much of wealth, you are in contact with too much money, so you become very proud. You are not ready to give any charity. Even though you have affluence. If you are going to be addicted to money and land like this, everything will be finished." Like that sage angrily said and went away. But after the sage went away, many, many cows died and the land dried. So crops are not coming, cows also had passed away. And this Brahmana became poverty stricken now. Now, on one hand, he had lost a taste for Brahmana karma. On the other hand, he also was poverty stricken. Now he was like between devil and deep sea. He couldn't do anything properly. So here is the example, Neha yat karma dharmaya. His karma did not lead him to dharma. Therefore, in any profession you may be in, like our Prime Minister of India is a profession of a Prime Minister. But before becoming a Prime Minister, he went and sat in the caves with many saintly persons, performed meditation and everything. He was more of a monk for becoming a leader of the nation. And eventually, later on, after getting the post also, he is in touch with many saintly persons asking questions about what is the right, what is ethical, what is not ethical. So, the lowest thing a Vaishya can also do is to learn from brahmacharis and sannyasis and all about how to get, how to control my mind, control my life and discipline myself so that I can make more and more money. There are many people who ask, correct? No? Please teach me how I can do smart work instead of hard work. No? And then better than that is to ask the saintly people how to do my business ethically. Then more refined Vaishyas will ask question, how I can offer my business to God's service and how I can act spiritually. So we also don't mind that sharing all the three type of knowledge when we meet big business people. I once one businessman met me and said, "Swamiji, my life is so frustrating. I'm so stressed out." I said, "You should not just do hard work. You should learn to do smart work." I was telling him that, a crow brought the stones and pebbles and put in the water to increase the water level. No, that's a hard-working crow. A smart-working crow will go to a juice shop and get a straw that drink like. So when I said, he was so thrilled. I said, not only smart work, like if this Vyasasana has to be moved from here to there, what is smart work? You put wheels. Then even a child, even he can move it and take it if you put wheels, correct? No? You don't need 5 people to lift it. He was very thrilled. Oh, I want to learn more about smart work. I said, there is a third thing also, teamwork. How do you do teamwork? Teamwork means you learn to deal with people and nice interpersonal dealing you do. Many will come forward to help you. He said, that's my problem. I have a lot of fellows, but they don't cooperate. I said, so you learn teamwork. I will share with you how Mahabharata gives a lot of tools on this thing. And then I said, there's a heart work. Heart work means prayer. Prayer means difference between what you can do and what God can do. Arjuna made a prayer to Krishna, Shishyaste aham. And just see what happened to Arjuna. Hanuman offered a prayer. Just see what Hanuman did. He was so thrilled. Swamiji, every week I can come. You tell me ideas like that. So many business people are ready to learn this kind of business, some tricks to make their business better, to make more money. And I told them, you see, these ideas are good, but you should ask a more refined question on how you can do an ethical business, business ethics. That is more better than simply making money more and more. You won't be greedy to make a lot of money and just enjoy life. Nehayat karma, karmaya. Just come to the ethical. Like a Shudra should be loyal, Vaishya should be ethical, yeah, Kshatriya should be religious, and Brahmana should be spiritual. Each of them have their duties. So if a Shudra should not cheat, loot properties, which they do if they are not trained, then his karma is not leading to dharma. Similarly, a businessman should go from, money making to man making, which means he should be ethical, correct, no? In his business. And you should check, my business, is it doing good to the world or is it harming the world? Am I running a cigarette industry or a slaughterhouse? Or am I doing something that will benefit the world? One should think about not just making money, but ethically making money, correct, no? And then Kshatriya means you should be religious. Religious means you should perform sacrifices, yajna. You should build temples. You should facilitate practice of dharma for the mass of people. And a Brahmana should be spiritual, which means he should be in very close contact with God through study of the scriptures, repeating the scriptures, and cleansing his own heart and helping the world to cleanse their hearts also. So then your karma is leading to dharma. And then what will dharma lead to? Nehayat karma dharmaya na viragaya kalpate. Viraga means, there are two meanings of the word viraga. Chakravarti Thakur says, Vigata raga, Vishesha raga. Vigata raga means you lose attachment to the petty pleasures of this world. Like all of you are playing with teddy bear or something when you are a small kid. Now do you play now? You have no more interest. It may be lying in one corner of your house. Because you have developed detachment from it now. You have got more important things to do in life. Similarly, when one becomes advanced in spiritual life, one is not attracted to petty pleasures of playing video games or filling up the crossword puzzle, or in the train, everyone, you've seen that video games people are playing. How can you waste time in that? We have so many shlokas to memorize. We have so many books to study. I don't know how these guys have so much free time, isn't it? Similarly, there are people, one fellow I saw on the train, 3 hours is filling up the crossword puzzle. Such a colossal waste of time. Yeah. So, once you grow in spiritual life, then you will not be wasting time with petty pleasures. You develop viraga. Viraga means detachment from such things, watching movie. And like some cinema actress is going to marry some cinema actor. What difference it makes to your life? These are many fellows have no character also in their life. Sometimes they have married and divorced a dozen people in their life. So, if there is a Rukmini Kalyanam, that's an interesting thing for us. We are interested in goddess of fortune. So then we can go to a program like that, because Lord and his consorts, that relationship is amritam, everlasting relationship. So, in this way, na viragaya kalpate, na tirthapada sevayai, jivanapi. Then that kind of viraga, when you develop, then Vishesha Rag develops. What is Vishesha Rag? The Rag for attraction for Krishna. That is how your profession ultimately leads to love of God. These are the steps. So, Nehayat karma dharmayana viragaya kalpate na tirtha pada sevayai jivan napi mrito hisaka. If somebody is not progressing through the stages, his life is simply a waste of time. You go to any place, you will find that everywhere, many housing colonies are coming up, sky-rise towers are coming. Everybody is doing the same thing. Get up in the morning, once you get up in the morning, the real war starts. You have to send the children to the school. You have to, first of all, body has to be cleansed. If you don't brush your teeth, mouth stinks. If you don't bathe your body, body stinks. Is it not? And also dealing with the family members, you have to get ready. Wife has to cook and everything, send the husband to office and children to school. If she's a homemaker, she has to wash the clothes and dry and put it and then fold them and keep them. And then they come back from the school and company, you have to feed them. So typical lifestyle goes on, eating, sleeping, mating, defending, everybody's doing. But if you are not going to prepare for spiritual life, after this death, again you have to take one more body, where you are going to do the same things. Now you may live in a flat in Bangalore, later you may live in Hyderabad or somewhere. We have to do the same thing. Same, going from one place to another, different families. Keep moving here, there, same old activity. So human beings should not waste one's human life doing these petty activities of eating, sleeping, mating, defending. So while we are living side by side along with fulfilling bodily demands and my mental demands, one has to also learn what are the needs of the soul. That's what Prabhupada is saying here. See, even if he goes up to Svargaloka, he will find no permanent abode for his hankering soul. The hankering soul must be satisfied by the perfect scientific process of perfect devotional service. So, I am going to show you one very important message from Chaitanya Shikshamrita of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Actually, why am I showing this? Because we are talking about how to be, the topic which I told you for today. You see, how a grihastha can be responsible and also detached while living at home. See, this farm, it's not like one shirt fits all. It's not like that. Huh? Actually, every grihastha should see what is my level. And that much one should cultivate detachment. If you artificially try to do a bigger detachment, that will lead to dangers also. That is why this Svanishta, Parinishta, Nirapeksha is very, very important subject. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains about that. For example, let me give you an example. In my 7th standard, holidays, because my father used to teach BSc Maths and MSc Maths students used to come to my home. My father used to be teaching. So some books were lying in my father's the tuition room table. So I was a little curious. Let me see in the 12th standard and BSc Maths, what is there in that book? I had a little attraction for Maths. So when you opened the book, my Lord, it was all like elongated S. F of X, F of Y, F of Z. Big S's like all over the book. It was like that. I developed a phobia for Maths. Later on, I met my father and said, Father, I always had an attraction for mathematics, but after seeing these books, I just cannot understand what is it. My father scolded me, who told you to open these books? You are in 7th standard, you should open the 8th standard book. He said, if you open 8th standard book, it will be slightly more difficult. But how many of you, before 8th the book appeared difficult, after 8th it became easy, correct? But then which book will be a little difficult for you now? 9th. That is how you have to progress. From here, like that. Like that, little you have to progress. Then you go to BSc and see that triple S, then you won't have any fear. Similarly, when our boys come also, when they come for the Sankalp camp, one boy asked in Sankalp camp, Prabhu, I got a shock, I heard we cannot eat onion garlic. I said, who told you that? He said, so we can eat? He said, yes, you can eat, no problem. He's just chanting 2 rounds. Poor fellow. Yeah. See, there is a stage in which we tell them, correct now? Yeah. So like for example, newborn baby, you take a paratha and put in the mouth. And the child will faint. The child needs breast milk, isn't it? So at every level, the Vairagya should be taught. That is why this is very important. So let us go back to that. I'll make it a little bigger for you. So okay. Is it big enough now? You can see? Okay. See, these Laukika Dharma, professional duty with Bhakti Sadhana. Both are important. Now we have because we are living in the material world, we cannot run away. Especially one having a wife, children, family, mother, father, they have to take care. One has to do that also. So how in relation to professional life and devotional life we can manage? So let us go from the bottommost stage, below Svanishta stage. It's pre-steadiness stage. We have not yet attained steadiness, which means, Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, and then Nishtha. So Nishta is the fifth stage, very steady stage it is. But we are still progressing in Anatanavriti or something. Nature of the stage is, the practitioner has faith and attraction towards bhakti, but life is not yet centered around devotion. Uh, There are material responsibilities, social pressures, career ambitions still dominate the schedule and psychology. Your daily schedule and you make, you will see that there are a lot of material responsibilities and there are also expectations from your relatives and friends. Like sometimes devotees write mail to me saying, Prabhu, they're calling for parties. And when I go to parties, my bhakti becomes disturbed, and or I have to go for multiple marriages and they tell us to eat food there, it becomes difficult because they still have social obligations. Plus, leave alone others, we also have career ambitions. Somebody has a desire to go for a bigger job and make more money. At the same time, one is wondering how will my Krishna consciousness go on. You tell him that, hey, Prabhu, why to go for such a big job? 16 hours working. Now you are working 10, 11 hours, peacefully practice bhakti. Yes, your idea of peaceful is good, but my mind is not peaceful. Mind says, how can you leave such a big fat salary? Salary is fat, time is also fat. You have to give more time for that. So the devotee is still influenced by external situations. So in professional life, uh, our career success, promotions, recognition, financial security, all these things are influencing the decision of this devotee. They are very much concerned about this. Work pressure easily disturbs sadhana schedule. Sometimes the job demands are more. At that time, the rounds are remaining in the night. Ethical dilemmas may arise where professional gain conflicts with spiritual principles. For example, one devotee was telling me that, Prabhu, I have to organize a 3-day meet of multiple people from all across the globe, but I have to arrange a meet for them. Of course, the company gives us stout amount of money for it, food and everything, but I have to arrange that meet. And in this whole thing, I get a very solid profit. Several lakhs of rupees I get just in 3 days of work if I do this. But if I don't do this, somebody else does, then they will get the money. So I said, you have to decide. You are going to get, just in 3 days, he's going to get a few lakhs of rupees. But he has to do something unethical right now. Then I asked him, can you cut out that portion? Lunch, you tell another guy to arrange who is interested in making menu and arranging rest of it you can do. He said, that's a good idea, bro. I'll try. He said, I don't know what is it going to do. But in case he's not able to do, the company says you have to take the onus of the whole thing. Then only you can do, otherwise leave it to somebody else. Whether he will leave it or not will depend on what? It depends on his attachment. It depends on his attachment. Like in Pune, there was one devotee. The company told him to write a program for a slaughterhouse of cows, So he was very expert in programming. Company said, if you do this work, this year you will get some 3-4 lakhs extra. He was very talented in that. So he came and asked me. I said, what do you think you should do? Yeah, I asked him. So he said, that's why I'm worried, Prabhu. Once I set it rolling, this program is going to go to cutting the cows. I said, what your inner gut feeling tells you? He really was in tears. He said, I don't want to do this work, Prabhuji. Only thing is I'll have to miss 4-5 lakhs. I said, so what is the final decision? Finally gave it up. He didn't do it. He told the company, I don't want this project. So sometimes our ethical considerations are sometimes shaken. Professional identity still forms a major part of one's self-worth. One identifies with the company because company gives you a card, a high card, correct? No? Like we wear bead bag. Prabhupada put bead bag in our neck so we can remember Hare Krishna. Company puts Infosys, Microsoft. Everywhere you have to swap it, correct? No? So you keep remembering, I am Infosys, I am Infosys, I am Infosys. You can remember it. So professional identity still forms a major part of one's self-worth. What people talk about me, my rank, my position. Like one man came to meet me in my office. He said, Prabhu, I am in the third position in my company. I don't want to mention the name of the company, very famous company. Below me, there are 4,500 people working. I am the third position. And he was in coat, suit, boot, tie, everything. He was a big manager. But he said, but I'm not happy. It was a Wednesday, he has come at 12 o'clock. I said, the company is there, but I have come here because I am not peaceful. Huh? His wife is a doctor. She has her own polyclinic. He is the third rank in the company, but is not very happy. So there are people with lot of position, possession, wealth and everything. They're not happy. Because their Atma is not satisfied. Body and mind may have lot of things. That's why because his professional identity is very strong. That's where his self-worth comes from. So if there is late office work, japa or morning program may be compromised. What happens? People come from office at 10 o'clock and then eat dinner at 10 o'clock, sleep at 1 o'clock, get up at 8 o'clock, go to office, and all rounds remain for the night. A Grihastha may accept stressful or ethically grey work simply for career advancement. Correct, no? What is the meaning of grey work? White, black, grey. Three things. Why? Completely white means like lightning, pure, Shuddha karma. And black means prohibited work, like slaughterhouse, a cigarette company, liquor company, completely black. And grey means in between. It's like it is not sinful. At the same time, it can lead to sin subsequently. Like for example, being a mom tells a child, better be in the car. But the child is looking at the ocean and saying, I want to play in the seashore. But mom says, if you go to seashore, you can also go to ocean. So inside the car is like Vihita karma. The sea beach is Kamya karma. And going into the ocean is Nishiddha karma. That means in a prescribed duty, pleasurable activities, and prohibited activities. Like a king is marrying one wife, peacefully living like Lord Ramachandra, Ekapatni Vrat. That is Vihita karma. And some kings, in those days, the women population was enormous and men population was less because many men went to forest, became saints. Then at the time, there was a prescription of polygamy. One king could marry many wives. So that is Kamya karma. And a king going to a prostitute is Nishiddha karma. Like that. So similarly, here sometimes a Grihastha may accept very stressful job or ethically grey job simply for career advancement. And what is ethically grey work means sometimes you can get money by under the table, but that causes a lot of tension because I may be caught. And if I am caught, I may lose the job. There are some situations like that. So in devotional life, the devotional practices are inconsistent. Sadhana is often dependent on convenience. That means if it is convenient, I will do. Spiritual enthusiasm fluctuates based on association or inspiration. That means if some senior is catching you, then you will say, okay, tomorrow onwards I will start, they will say. Again, they will again go to slack. Again. When senior says, hey, you are not reading at all, please, every day you should read half an hour. Okay, a minute. And then it will come down like this. Again, after 2 months, they will catch again. Only on association or inspiration they will do. That's called as Ghana Tarala. Sometimes strong enthusiasm, other times weak. Whenever there is yatra, people become too fired up, very serious. Yatra time, everybody. And then somebody says, Prabhu, in Vrindavan Dham, I chanted 64 rounds every day. And the next 1 month, they don't chant only. So what happened? Already counted before. Like that. So, you see, the devotee is trying to harmonize two worlds, but has not yet centered life on Krishna, you see. Well, what are the two worlds? Spiritual world and material world. They're trying to harmonize. So what is the challenge? Material duties control spiritual life instead of spiritual priorities guiding material duties. So I'll show you one picture that will make it easy. Now you can see this. See, this is below Sanishta situation. That means one's job is influencing one's Krishna consciousness. You see? That means even while chanting, you worry about the job, profits, worry about family, worry about future, kya hoga, that is coming into a Krishna consciousness. But when one comes to Swanishta stage, then Krishna consciousness becomes very big. You see? And job is also a part of your Krishna consciousness. Do that. That means even while you are in job, you will be thinking about how to bring the colleagues to Krishna consciousness. You will invite them for the Bhakti Vriksha program, come and join and things like that. When you become a Swanishta, that means that's why he says, Dharma Swanushtita Pumsam Vishwaksena Katasya. If one does not come to Swanishta stage and you are not awakening love of God, then Sramayevahi Kevalam. So he is calling this one as Sramayi Kevalam. This is a situation for most people. This is called as useless. Sramayi Kevalam. One's job is useless, he is saying. But one should come to this stage at least, Swanishta. And better than that is this one, Parinishta. Parinishthitopi Nairgunyo. That's a verse in the Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami was in Parinishta. Which means, why I am showing this job in ... This devotee is ready to do any type of job. A guru tells this devotee, don't do business, work in a university, so that you can preach to the students and you can make nice, student devotees. And then a devotee is ready to follow this. His Holiness Rompad Maharaj in America has done that with some other couples. He told them that you just take up teaching. Although they can do very big business and make a lot of money, he said if you join, do a PhD, do a postdoc, and then join a university, so they will take any type of job. Or if a guru says, to this program you come in dhoti kurta, he will come in dhoti kurta. Another program, guru says, it's a program for the professionals, come in coat suit, boot tie, they will wear that and come. Basically, they are like puppets in Krishna's hands. They will do any type of job. And guru says, no need of job, they will give up the job also. Because they already saved money. And then Nirapeksha is like that. Where's the job? Job only is not there, see? Correct? Correct? They have given up everything for Guru completely. Only Krishna consciousness pervades the whole life. You understand? No? So, now let us go to Swanishta stage. Properly practice steadiness. Here, the devotee consciously organizes life around the devotional principles. It's not that he is irresponsible. He responsibly executes worldly duties. The devotee begins to practice regulated harmony between profession and bhakti. So it is possible, it's not impossible. If one is, Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam yanam payantite. If you are devoted to me, then I will give you the intelligence by which you can manage both. Yeah. You see, in professional life, what the devotee does, the devotee chooses and adjusts the work in such a way that supports spiritual practice. Let me give you an example. Two boys joined one company in Pune. One boy, what he did, he was a very smart devotee, very intelligent devotee. In July only, he told the boss that, sir, in November, one yatra is coming. So 15 days I have to go. In those days, yatra was 15 days. I had to go 15 days. But I can promise you, sir, if you tell me I can come in the weekends and do some additional work, so can I be allowed to go for yatra, he asked. And this boss said, oh, that's a very good idea. November, I am also going to Germany. The boss said, it's good that we both can finish good amount of project before that. So every weekend they came for 2 months. Saturday, Sunday they worked and they finished off the work very quickly. So November he could go for yatra 15 days. And in the same company there was another devotee working under another boss. So this devotee did not say anything. When yatra time came, he said that my grandfather has passed away, I have to go to village. He did like that. So 15 days he went. Next year again, he said, grandfather has passed away. Hey, last year he said, grandfather. He said, that was my mother's side, this is my father's side. So the company became suspicious. How one grandfather, grandmother always passes away during November time only. So they called up home and they found out. This fellow is cheating. Because both of them had passed away 5 years ago. So that boss lost the trust in that fellow. So that fellow didn't get any promotion, you see. So therefore, a devotee should know, yes, you can make adjustment, but in a way that supports spiritual practice. You can't cheat. Yeah. Ethical standards become non-negotiable, which means the devotee is very strict. If it is going to be ethically wrong, I will not do it. He is convinced 100%. He will not go for anything where there's a big money available, but ethically you will be wrong. No, devotee will not agree to that. Work is seen as a seva to Krishna, not just a livelihood. Because the devotee thinks, I'm working in the company, I don't want to work, but I can't avoid work. I have family, I have to work. So I will earn money, but I also want to give some portion of my earning for Krishna service in such a way that can expand the movement. Yeah, like, there is a devotee, Grasta devotee, he arranges program in his house weekly. His wife cooks prasad and they distribute prasad. So, and also he gives to ISKCON donations also to the temple. So his wife was telling, Prabhu, his hands are so liberal that he gives charity too much. So I told, that's why God has created the world in such a way that one spouse will be strict, one spouse will be lenient. And then Lord brings them together. So if he is not so organized, then you be organized. You have to control him, I told her. So in this way, they both have to come with a plan on how much to give Krishna and how much we need to run the family, how much to save, and all that. And then you see, protecting morning sadhana before going to work. So this is his priority. So this fellow will sleep early and get up early. I came up with a program this year, January 1st. I said 8:40 to 9, I will do one reading group. I told the people, immediately go to sleep at 9 and get up at 3, 3:30, get up. Then again morning I have another reading group called as 4 to 4:20. Night is Krishna Leela reading group and morning Chaitan Leela. So I started it January 1st. Can you guess how many people came? 1,200 people joined. Our Zoom blow off. Good enough because Zoom can only accommodate 1,000. We're taken for 1,000. Of course, I said, let us see how many of them continue. Now about 350 are continuing. 300, 350 are continuing now. It's a daily thing. You hear in the night, go to sleep, get up in the morning and continue. So I did this. Why? Because others benefit or not, I benefit personally. I said, if nobody is coming, one person is coming, I'll continue still. No? Because by doing it, you can sleep early and rise early. So, whenever somebody asks me how to come to Sattva-guna, I tell them, sleep early. They said, Prabhuji, I heard Brahma Muhurta in the morning. Instead of talking about Brahma Muhurta, why are you talking about night? I said, Brahma Muhurta you can only see when you sleep early. Correct now? How will you see Brahma Muhurta in the morning? You sleep at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. How can you see the Brahma Muhurta time? So, protecting the morning sadhana before going to work. Avoiding professions that force immoral activity. Using professional skills to support preaching. Our devotional community. There are many people. Yeah. There are many people who are supporting. Like for example, if somebody is an IAS officer, they can help in seeing that some road has to be made for the dham. Correct, no? From Calcutta to Mayapur, one of the big IAS officers is a devotee lady. She worked in the government level to ensure that the money, to some 1,200 crores is sanctioned, so that the road will get started. So she was very instrumental in that. She's a devotee. And from here to here, she was moving the amount. In her position, she could do that. She's an IAS officer. Correct, no? So similarly, there is a very big gathering that happens. 5,000 farmers were coming. So one very big man in the farmers union and the head, he suggested to the leader that every person who is leading the panchayat leader, he should get one copy of Bhagavad Gita. So they took 5,000 Gitas, like that. So in this way, one can use one's skills to propagate devotional service. The Grihasthas begins to think, my career is not my identity. It is a responsibility Krishna has given me. See the consciousness has changed now. In Swanishta stage, it is seva that Krishna has given me. Like that he feels. So daily sadhana becomes regular and protected. Association with devotees becomes very important. You will not miss the weekly program. And he will also try to join some online daily, morning or night or some time of the day. Because one feels that, oh, I am like a patient, I need medicine. And what is the medicine? Holy name and holy fame. That's the medicine. Holy fame is Srimad Bhagavatam. And holy name is Hare Krishna mantra. So I need to take in to nourish my soul. One understands the need for association. So then one's life becomes regular and regulated. Regular means daily morning program happens properly. And regulated means one doesn't eat too much, one doesn't sleep too much, one doesn't go for too much recreation, one is regulated. Yuktahara viharasya, correct, no? Yeah. And then spiritual study and hearing become part of routine life. Now in Pune, many of the leaders, counselors, they have a reading program, 20 minutes or half an hour every day with a group of 40, 50 people. They all told me that, Prabhu, ever since we started this type of daily reading, our consciousness has blossomed there. We feel very cheerful, at every moment. That's the nature of transcendental knowledge. Krishna says, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram vihavidyate. He says it's a purifying knowledge. So typical pattern is they have fixed rounds, regular reading, participation in temple or preaching programs and seva and all that. What is the psychological state, you see? They feel inner clarity, and then they become regulated instruments of seva, you see? All right. Now let's go one step higher than this. So the person is aligned is at Parinishta stage. Deep devotees, established in rock steady devotees. So this is a very mature stage where devotion becomes a central identity of life. Even while the person remains externally active in society. Okay, let me give you an example. How many of you have seen some devotees, externally they may be working in a company, or they may be a doctor or an engineer, but in your community when they come to temple, you see them more as a devotee than a professional. How many of you see? There are people, correct? No, you've seen that? They identify, there is one devotee in Pune, one Hari Prasad Prabhu. Any festival you will find he and his wife makes a lot of outfits for the deities, And this fellow, from evening time, you will find with the other pujaris and everybody, they will decorate the altar, they will decorate in the temple hall. Whole night they will keep awake, festival time, till morning also, until the festival gets over. He identifies with the Lord's service so much that we see him more connected to the Lord's altar than as a professional doing some job. Same with, there are Matajis also like that, Prabhuji's Matajis. They are like completely, they are so much spiritualized, their personality. You see them more as a spiritualist. You don't see them, they may have upadhis also. What is the first thought that comes to your mind when you look at a person? Will depend on what is that person soaked in. So if you see a person soaked in Krishna Katha, Krishna Nam, Krishna Seva, you see them more as a devotee. That's what is this. Like Ambarish Maharaj, people saw him as a king or as a devotee? Devotee. Like Yudhishthira Maharaj, what do you see him as? Do you see him as a king of the whole world? That is a secondary role. He is a Krishna devotee. He is a Dharmatma. He is a Mahatma. Dharmatma. See him as a Krishna devotee. The devotee's consciousness becomes firmly fixed in Krishna. You see? In professional life, you see, the profession is now seen simply as a functional duty to maintain body and dependence. That's all. Okay, I am supposed to do a job. I can announce that, yeah.
Hare Krishna. KA05NG0.
This fellow now in Parinishta stage, he sees a job as a functional duty to maintain body and dependence. So he is not too much bothered about what type of career, what type of job I am doing now. Basically, it is something I have to do to earn my livelihood. Like that he feels. Because I am a devotee, I have to do devotion service to Krishna. So he will always think, based on this criteria, he will evaluate the jobs that he gets. If I am getting a job, where is the job first? Am I going to live with devotees, or job will take me far away from devotees? Geographically. And salary the job is giving me, like one job may give me slightly less salary. Say one job is giving me monthly, say 1.5 lakhs. Another job is giving me 2 lakhs. But the 2 lakhs job is going to demand 14 hours work. And the 1.5 lakh job will demand only 10 hours work. Which one will devotee will take? Huh? Because then he will have adequate time for Krishna's service, correct, no? Of course, we have to check whether we are on that platform. Huh? Correct, no? If you tell a person, Prabhu, this is only 10 hours, 4 extra hours you will get for yourself. You need for wife and children also, you need. Family also needs your time. You have to give for Krishna also. Why do you work 14 hours? Actually, even for husband and wife, it's very difficult to decide in this kind of situations. Many of them, they split their hair. Brahmacharis don't have to split the hair, they know hair only. You know? Is it? Because many devotee husband wives I've seen, once one couple came to me and said, Prabhu, whatever you say we will do. We both are unable to decide. This job is only 10 hours per day, that is 14 hours per. Only thing is there 50,000 difference, Prabhu. I said, I cannot decide, you have to decide. Because later on you will catch me. Tomorrow, if you are not, we are falling short in money, you will say that this brahmacharis has spoiled our, job and everything. You have to decide. So this is a tug of war between, Parinishta stage and Swanishta stage, correct, no? They are facing this tug of war. Here, this fellow will not have the tug of war. The career ambition largely disappears. The devotee works efficiently, but without attachment to status or prestige in society. Like in those days, I used to tell the boys, Arey, why don't you go for taking tuitions? Tuition job is only 4 hours a day. One devotee was making 80,000 rupees monthly, just doing 4 hours tuition, He said, Prabhu, my parents are saying that if you do tuition, it is not very prestigious. But if you work in an IT company, it's very prestigious. IT company is giving him, 60,000, tuition is giving him 80,000. Still he thinks, I want to go to IT company, it's more prestigious. Because my parents are saying, nobody will give a girl now if you are going to be just doing tuition only. And, it's all social validation, you see. If he's a serious devotee, what he will say? Oh, this is only 4 hours job per day, I'm making 80,000. Of course, now the situation is changing. AI is swallowing many jobs. AI is like big asura. They're swallowing all the jobs. Thousands and lakhs of people are. So even the IT engineers are thinking of alternatives nowadays. But in those days, IT was like a fad, Everybody would line up. Even a chemical engineer will go to IT company. I was wondering what will they do with clicker, typing the computer, isn't it? So this fellow, Parinishta fellow, he is not going to be pulled by social validation. Let people say whatever they want. I don't care about status or prestige. We care a lot about how to be Krishna conscious along with family members. So he will work efficiently, but without attachment, correct, no? To status and prestige. See here, examples are given here. Accepting a simpler career if it supports spiritual life better. Reducing unnecessary professional ambitions. Using influence, wealth, or position mainly for devotional service. Not for increasing one's name, fame, ego, and all that. So devotee, what do you think? My real profession is service to Krishna. My job is only for my maintenance. This is a, what do you call it, identification of the devotee. And in devotional life, devotee, what do you think? Sadhana becomes deep and joyful, not forced. Devotional hearing and chanting, it will attract the mind of the devotee. Preaching spirit develops strongly. So these devotees, they identify very strongly with ISKCON, Prabhupada. For them, this is a real life. They are like a fish in water. Fish delight, like that. ISKCON is like a pond. They are like a fish. They take a lot of services. They preach and they bring people. They'll be telling delightfully. Prabhu, one of my managers, I brought him to temple for Janmashtami. Now he started chanting now. Chanting 4 rounds, Prabhu. Now I gave him this book. Now I'm planning to, in December, I'm planning to give him a Bhagavatam set. They will be delighting in that. Another fellow comes and says, Radheshyam, good news, Prabhu. What is it? I got promoted, Prabhu. Now I am going to get so much salary now. Okay, how much are you going to give Krishna? Sorry, I thought I will never ask about that. He never thinks about Krishna. What I will give to Krishna. He only thinks about his own professional success. Correct? Like some of our students, in the final year, they go for this job interviews, and when they get placed in the notice board in our voice centers, they'll put so-and-so got placed in, persistent, cognizant. All these big companies, Infosys and Microsoft, they'll put the photo and put, because first year boys, when they come, they'll be very impressed, correct? No? Oh, our seniors have got placed in big companies, correct? No? So I told them one day that as much as you delight in having placed in a good company, you should also delight in the devotional achievements also. Huh? So, oh Prabhu, I got to chant more rounds Ekadashi day. Huh? We got to distribute Prabhupada books. Actually, you cannot forcibly make them delighted. Huh? This is something based on one's realization. So, one day, Gaurakrishnadas Babaji called he had 20-30 people always sitting, hearing from him. One day he called them and said, "Today is Ekadashi day, let us celebrate a festival," he said. But then his Bihari was telling his servant, "But I never knew that you wanted to celebrate festival. I haven't gathered any donation." He said, "Oh, festival means what? Let us chant more rounds today." He said, "That's the festival for great souls." Huh? So devotee life becomes deep and joyful. What are the common expressions? Mentoring others, supporting spiritual projects, hosting programs at home, and then psychological status, inner satisfaction and stability. Krishna consciousness remains undisturbed, you see, even in work pressure. Work pressure may increase, but the devotee knows how to smartly adjust things. Yeah? Devotion becomes the governing. Nirapeksha stage, complete transcendental independence, you see. What is the nature of the stage? This is an advanced spiritual stage where a devotee becomes fully independent of material considerations. External roles like profession, status, social identity almost become irrelevant to one's inner consciousness. Kuch farak nahi padta. Outside things, the devotee is unconcerned. Like for example, there is, if we have some material consciousness, we very much worry about what people in society think about us. Like one place they invited me, "Swamiji, you are a very big speaker and you have been in ISKCON for so many years. And we want you, there's a big festival, it's a half-a-day festival. And we want you to come and speak on the stage." I said, "Okay, but what does the program show me?" So it's a 4-hour program where about 20 fellows will be sitting on the stage and you will get 5 minutes to speak. Yeah. And you have to sit with them all through the program. 4 hours you have to give. And going, coming and everything, inclusive, one day is gone for that. So, of course, I said bye-bye. I'm not coming for it. So sometimes somebody may think that, oh, if you get that 5 minutes, so much of click, so many photos they will click and it will come in the paper. You will be representing something and you can think, I don't say it's wrong to go for such events, but I used to always think, will I be able to have some solid impact on the people when I go for such programs, 5 minutes? We are not able to change people even 5 years also. After talking so much Krishna consciousness, so difficult. So only thing is you can put in your Instagram, I went for that program, and you put a photo or something. So I am more concerned about seeing that somebody takes Krishna consciousness seriously. You put one boy in front of me, I can spend 3 days with him, provided he is ready to come to 16 rounds. Correct, na? It's worth it. Of course, this is my calculation, and I won't say there can be another perspective to this, which somebody else may have another perspective. I am not against it. But the point is, what we are talking here is, if you too much worry about social validation, then we can be dragged into so many material demands in society. So in professional life, the devotee performs duties only as long as they are required for service. There is no dependence on career prestige or security. So this is one thing we have to work on. It's an ongoing project for all of us. How much we are worried about prestige in society. Or another thing is the security. Like on one class we were discussing in Grihastha program, what does a Grihastha need to have sufficient security so that they can completely devote their life to Krishna? So one Mataji said, "Prabhu, we should have our own house and 50 lakhs. That's it," she said. Another Mataji said, "Prabhu, own house, though we have to have it certainly. At least 1 CR, she said we should have." Another Mataji said, "Prabhu, these ladies don't have any idea. We are living in a dangerous age called Kali Yuga. Things have become very costly. We should have our own house and we should at least have 5 CR. She was telling. So then I understood everybody has a different idea of security. Correct? Now, depending on one's mental and physical demands. Correct? No? The more you want a luxurious life, then the more what you need? Money. The more money you need, more security you will need. Yeah. There are people having five houses also. 4 or 5 houses, one house here, one house they purchased and left it for rent, different places. Still they are not very confident of security. There's so much fear. So, but this devotee feels a lot of security. He is not worried too much about security. Some arrangement you have to make. But in this material world, what can we do? No matter how much security arrange, there can be problem. You see, there was one in Dallas, one very big doctor called Cooley, Denton Cooley. This fellow is the doctor who invented this heart transplant. He is the main person, one man who did that. He is surgeon. So after he did that, he became so popular. All the heart transplant surgery across the globe started coming to him. He was practically from millionaire, he became billionaire to trillionaire. Like that he became very stinking rich. Everybody came for surgery. Earlier he was working with one hospital. Later on he started his own hospital. Surgery he was doing. But during that recession time, everything, because he had invested a lot of money in shares, it came crashing down. So he became like a mediocre man. And that caused him some disease, due to which his body started shaking. Hands also started shaking. That I lost so much money. So still his friends encouraged him and said, see, you are a boss in this surgery, and heart transplant you can do. You continue doing, again you can build your bank balance, they told him. So he started continuing. But then what happened? Because of his shaking hands, he committed some mistake and somebody died. So some big man came for surgery and he died, and then it became a police case. He was behind the bars. He had to pay some heavy fine and all that. So due to which he became further poor. So this fellow practically, from being a billionaire, he became a beggar. So in this world, what is the security in this world? It can happen like that. You can see sometimes an athlete, 20 years is practicing, is going to go for the Olympics match. The day before the match, if he gets some ligament tear, ligament tear, no? Yeah, then can he go for the match? So we should always know that things are not in our control. We can make some arrangement, but ultimately we have to depend on the Lord. So what does this devotee feel? Simplifying life drastically, transitioning to full-time devotional service, living with minimal material demands. Work becomes purely instrumental. One person I have seen in my life like this is Krishna Chandra Prabhu in Bombay, Rishikesh Mapatlal. He has hundreds of crores of rupees worth business. One day he had come to my spiritual master's room. I was also there. Few other brahmacharis were there. At that time, the recession was going on everywhere. So Maharaj asked him, my Guru Maharaj asked him, how is your business going on? Is it all right? Safe? He asked him. He said, no, Maharaj, not all safe. Situation is very bad in the market. Anytime market can crash down my business. And he said, I may be left with practically nothing. I may become like an average man, middle class. It can happen anytime. I'll come to know in 2 weeks, he said. And then he told him that, Maharaj, in case everything is lost, please tell the brahmacharis to keep one corner in the ashram for me. I can also sleep with them in a chatai and ask them to give me a plate of khichdi daily. I can live like that. And he was smiling. He had no fear at all because he is not identifying with his money and business and profession. And after 2 weeks, everything was smooth. There was no problem for him. Life went on for him. And he asked Maharaj also, Maharaj, I am living in a big bungalow. Should I give up and go for a simpler, smaller flat? Maharaj said, no. See, you come from a very special type of family. If you leave everything and go to a small flat, people will not appreciate it. Especially your karmi relatives cannot understand. So you just reap out your punya karma, are living in that house. But in consciousness, you are living in a simple house. So, in this devotional life, the devotee becomes fully absorbed in bhakti, constant remembrance of Krishna becomes natural, service is done purely for Krishna's pleasure, Without personal expectation, such a devotee can inspire and guide many others, you see. The devotee experiences deep spiritual freedom. Material gains or losses do not disturb the mind of the devotee. Even if something happens. Devotee lives completely for Krishna, even if externally remaining in the society. So, see, in professional life, so below Swanishta we saw the career dominates. But in Swanishta, profession aligned with Dharma. And Parinishta works only for maintenance. Nirapeksha, independence from career identity completely. You are seeing progressively. And then similarly, devotional life, you see, irregular sadhana, then regular sadhana, then deep devotion and absorption completely. Correct, no? It's like dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Correct? So in inner state, you see, earlier there is inner conflict, then the clarity comes, then steadiness comes, and then spiritual freedom, you see. This is how we all want to grow. So, see here, a grihastha does not have to abandon profession to become spiritually advanced. The real transformation is from career-centered life, go to Krishna-centered life. Eternal occupation may remain similar, but the consciousness changes completely. Similarly, now we are telling about a man. Similarly, take a woman, a lady. Initially, she is so much paying attention to her cosmetics and decoration and her circle of friends, going for parties. All these things becomes very important for her, decorating herself. But as the woman advances in her Krishna consciousness, from the worldly type of materialistic mindset where her mind may be very greedy, she may be wanting a happy-go-lucky life, work less and luxury more. From that mode, when Mataji becomes a devotee, you will see that, she starts decorating the deity at home. She spends putting up festivals at home, and her greed reduces. She is happy with the husband, even if the husband is not having a very big job and big facility. He's a Krishna conscious devotee. She's happy with that. And she doesn't make unhealthy comparison with other ladies. Oh, she has got, they have got a own house, we only have a row house. They have got an independent bungalow or whatever. She doesn't compare like that. So when a woman can be free from comparison and greed or envy for others, and she becomes less materialistic and then focused on serving the Lord, then it becomes a happy family. See how these four stages correspond to the classic bhakti ladder, correct, no? Shraddha, Nishtha, Ruchi. That also is explained here. See, this is the one you all know. Shraddha, Sadhu, Sangha, Bhajana, Kriya, Anartha, Nishtha, Ruchi. Very nicely explained in the book Madhuri Kadambini, isn't it? So below Swanishta stages, what is it? It is Bhajana Kriya to Anartha Vritti. Correct, no? Inner impurities are still disturbing because Anartha Vritti is not over. That is why we are still disturbed. Anarthas are still lurking in the heart. Modern Gres's life, work deadlines disturb the chanting schedule. Social obligations weaken spiritual focus. Devotional commitments fluctuate, you see. I know what is right, but my mind is not cooperating. People say, it's like that. So this is a very important purification stage. It takes many, many years, it takes. Then Swanishta stage, what happens? One has come to Nishtha stage here. That means Anartha Vritti is crossed. Actually, the Jiva's homework is only till Nishtha stage. After Nishtha, we don't have to worry. After Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, Krishna will take care. It's like climbing up the mountain up to Nishtha stage. After that, it's like going down the mountain. It's very easy. Going up is like monkey way, and getting down is like kitten way. Cat kitten way. So therefore, once we come to Swanishta stage, that's what this sloka says. Dharma Swanishtita Pumsam. If one has not come to the stage, na utpadi jadiratim, Swami Kevalam says, we have to come to Swanishta stage. So here the Swanishta means properly established in one's practice. Daily sadhana becomes stable, spiritual commitments are not easily disturbed, life begins to be organized around bhakti. The grihastha begins to consciously structure life like this. Professional life also, you see. Morning sadhana is protected. Any of you feel that you are doing some chanting in the night, Sunday is a very good day to break that vicious cycle. Because Sunday daytime you can chant, And then Sunday, sleep very early. So Monday morning onwards, you will have all rounds done in the morning. Correct, no? Yeah. Life begins to be organized around bhakti, you see. And then career choices guided by dharma, avoids environments harmful to spiritual life. Instead of asking, which job gives highest salary? Instead of that, which job allows me to maintain my sadhana? Huh? And family dharma, correct, no? Devotee feels Krishna consciousness is my life foundation. No? And Parinishta stage means one has gone beyond Nishta also, Ruchi to Asakti. Deep-rooted and joyful devotion experiences. Taste for hearing and chanting develops. Spiritual practices feel natural and nourishing, you see. One gets very deep in devotional life. Like I've seen one Devakiran Prabhu from Singapore. You know, he's a lawyer by profession. In the night, he sleeps at about 10:30. Morning, he gets up at 2:30 or 3. He gets about 4.5 to 5 hours sleep he gets. But he maintains the community very beautifully. But his juice comes from, anybody knows? Bhagavatam. Similarly, Kalachakra Krishna Prabhu, you must have seen also, correct? No? So we don't see them as people holding any profession. Soaked like a sponge in Bhagavatam. So spiritual practices feel natural, nourishing. Material attractions significantly weaken. In professional life, Grihastha works without attachment or preservation, like this. So Nirapeksha stage means it's almost Bhava stage, you see. Completely independent of material expectations, fully absorbed in Krishna. Work is purely just functional, that's all. One experiences deep peace, spiritual absorption, natural humility. See, practical diagnosis for modern ISKCON Grihastha, you see. How do I control my mind? So these are the questions you have to ask. How am I controlling my mind? How to maintain? You see, below Sanishta stage, the 3 slokas of NOI are very important. First 3. Vachavega, Manasavega, and then Atyahara Prayasasya, Utsaha Nishya Dhairya. Make one table, write the 18 items here, and put 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 31st the dates. So one of the days you ate more prasad on festival day, big feast. Which item you to star mark? Udaravegam. Udaravegam. You ate too much. Or one day you ended up eating too much sweets. Which one? Jihva Vegam. Correct, no? Like that. Another day you became angry with another devotee, you just blurted out, reacted. Krodha Vegam. There you can star mark like that, correct, no? Like that you star mark. Make it for 3 to 6 months, you make it, you can clearly get an idea. Mostly our anarthas are repetitive. You will see that. They are repetitive in nature. So once you know what are repeating, then those lectures we can hear on how to control our mind and maintain some struggle is frequent here in this stage. And in Swanishta stage, let me organize my life around Krishna consciousness. Discipline becomes stable. And then in the Parinishta stage, material attractions become weak. They are not much. Mind naturally runs towards hearing Shravanam, Kirtanam, association and all that. And no more conflict in Nirapeksha stage, you see. So, actually there is more about Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttama. See, there is a Bhoga Parayana Grihastha, there is Yukta Vairagya Grihastha, then there is a Nirapeksha Grihastha. There is also Kanishta, Madhyam, Uttama is also there. Basically, Bhoga Parayana means centered around sense enjoyment. They may be devotees, but still they are unable to. Some of them actually, some of the Grihasthas, what they do, they have a devotee life also, but outside they have another type of life. Chameleon, we call it. Chameleon. On the tree, it will be brown. In the grass, it will be green. Yeah. Here, you can wear tilakana, hari bol, and everything. There, they will go for a European tour wearing different type of dress, different type of activities. Somebody takes a snapshot, you'll be shocked. These fellows have another type of life, isn't it? So, Bhogaparayana. Yukta Vairagya means Krishna-centered responsibility. Nirapeksha means pure devotion. So, there is also Kanishta Madhyam Uttama also. There are many reflections. I'm going to give these notes to Radhakrishna Prabhu. You can give it to whoever wants it. You can. What makes us remain stuck? In spiritual life, even after 20, 30 years of practice, why are we not growing? The answer is given here. Because we have mixed motivation. We have mechanical practice, like that. Many things are mentioned here. Lack of honest self-examination. So in this way, there are many solutions given here. What we should do, there's a lot of homework given here. This is also Markata Vairagya also is explained. What is Markata Vairagya? And there is Kanishta Madhyam Uttam also. That is also very important to know the last part. So I have explained more than half the notes I explained. What is the community? Kanishta community, Madhyama community, Uttam community. So there is a. So I am going to give this 5 minutes. I will take questions now, and then we can. You all can read it yourself. You will understand it because overall you have captured the subject now. So when you are talking about how a grahastha can be responsible and detached, this subject what we discussed today is good enough. I will also give 2 more notes on, one on how to be affectionate but not attached. There is one note on that. And there is also another one on how we can feel the presence of, how we can feel our dependence on Krishna. Because some people ask, Prabhuji, it's only a theoretical phenomenon. How we can feel dependence? Because when you feel dependence on the Lord, then only we can develop some detachment, correct, no? So these are 3 different notes, doc file. I will share with Vajakrishna Prabhu. You have any WhatsApp group in which you can put, I think, correct? Any questions? Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. No, love of God comes from the soul. But it is, when it comes through the mind and senses, because of wrong perception, for example, there is also material beauty in this world. Then our mind and senses are attracted to the material beauty instead of becoming attracted to Krishna's spiritual beauty because of perverted reflection. Because the mind is impure, body is impure. So just like this bulb is white now. If you put a yellow color cover, what will come out? Yellow light. If you put red, red light. If you put black, black light. That kind of thing, correct? No? Different type of. So similarly, sattva, rajas, tamas, which is in our mind, that makes the pure love of God, when it comes out, it turns into lust in this world. Yeah, for that we are withdrawing our soul, just like you've seen a coconut. If you put it in water, big nariyal, if you put it after 3 months, it will become separate. You've seen that? What do you call it? Copra or cobra? Cobra is this one. Huh? Copra they call it. Copra. Copra, it withdraws. Even the supari also. That, what do you call it? Beetle nuts. If you do like this, so soul can withdraw from body and mind regularly by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and chanting Hare Krishna. And attend the morning programs. See, the more you keep yourself in the lotus feet of internal potency, Srimati Radharani, the whole morning program you are attending. So we are soaking our consciousness in spiritual identification. And also, morning, evening, if you devote time for Krishna, daytime you can do some profession. Gradually we become spiritualized. And then we withdraw from the material consciousness. That is how the lust can be given up and love can be awakened. Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah. Where is the mic?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in family, like we have to take, also incorporate the needs of wife, children. What to do when in taking the next step of detachment, if the wife, spouse is not ready, or other family members are not ready to take that next step of detachment?
See, for example, one of the spouse is here, another one is here. This person brings his standard a little down with the condition that this person is ready to increase spiritual standards up. Like on one family, the wife was very spiritually advanced, but the husband was not even chanting at all. And now the wife wants to follow ISKCON standard, but the husband is not ready for it. He doesn't know anything. So she started bringing him to temple, converting him to devotee. So she put a condition: you chant 4 rounds, then I reduce my standard a little bit. So then he started chanting 4 rounds, and then because husband and wife should go together. They are like one soul in 2 bodies. They are like Ardhanarishwar, you have seen that? Half Parvati and half Shiva, you have seen. Similarly, husband and wife should go together. So then eventually they will be able to do that. Yeah. One has to sympathetically approach this. If one is taking a stand that you fallen soul, you feel then it cannot be a happy family. Correct, no? One has to find, like what Kardamani did. Kardamani gave a aerial mansion, and he took her to all the pleasure valleys, gave her 9 daughters, then gave her 1 son. But there is one shloka which says, he gave that for the wife's pleasure, but he always remained a detached soul. He was not attached to enjoying. He knew that she is daughter of a king of the whole world. She needs all those things. But he was not enjoying that. Yeah. And afterwards, what is the proof that Kardamani treated her properly? The end result was the wife cried and said, I am sorely cheated that you are a spiritual husband, but I only took material advantage of you. I did not take spiritual advantage of your association. Now you are going to take sannyas and you are going to go away. What will happen to me? Who will deliver me? And he told her, oh lady, you are not an ordinary woman. You are going to be mother of the Supreme Lord, Kapila. Is going to appear. Now when Kapila comes, he will become your guru. And he is going to guide you. She became happy and then she accepted Kapila as the guru, and then her own son became her guru. And then she became enlightened, which means the end result of regulated sense enjoyment is detachment. If a husband and wife are following regulated life as per the order of the guru, eventually they will develop detachment over the years. But if they are not regulated, they become irregulated like action dogs, then they cannot develop detachment. So one should know how to take the spouse and both of them can go together. Hey, here's a question, one small. Yes.
Prabhuji, in Bhagavad Gita it is said, how to control the mind. It is by suitable practice and detachment. But what is that suitable practice and detachment?
That you can read this famous verse. Krishna said, Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasa yogena tato. He says, abhyasena to kaunteya vairagyena chagrihyate. Krishna says 2 things, 2 words, abhyasa and vairagya. So, abhyasa means feeding. Vairagya means fencing. Feeding and fencing. Now, what is the feeding we should do? The first feeding is Shravanam, like what you all are doing today. This is the first feeding. Hearing about Krishna. And then ABCD, association, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, then chanting, devotional diet, and engaging in some seva. These are all 5 things which are not very difficult to do. These are all feeding. Just like you have a plant, you want to grow tulsi, for example. You have to give her water daily. You have to give some gobar or some manure or something. You have to put a fence around her. And you have to give sunlight. Correct, no? So, and you have to make sure. So these are all your feeding. And what is fencing? You make sure that if you keep it outside, some animal should not pass urine or something. You have to put a fence around her. Correct, no? You have to make sure. And too much sunlight is not good. Right now, she gets scorched. Sometime of the day, keep her in the sun. Other time, keep her in the shadow. So, we do both feeding and fencing for a plant. In the same manner, what is fencing for us? 4 regulative principles. No illicit sex, no maid eating, no gambling, no intoxication. And also fencing also includes avoiding those 12 items. Avachavegam, Manasavegam, Krodhavegam, and Atyahara, Prayasa, Prajalpa. Those are all fencing. And Utsaha, Nishya, Dharya, and Priti Lakshanam, next verse, they are all feeding. Correct, no? So you feed the soul with those 12 items, verse 3 and 4, and fence the soul from the first 2 verses, items. They are another 12. So we have a lot of homework to do. Correct, no? Feeding and fencing. If we do, then we can act. All right?
We have time for one more question. Any Mataji's had a question? Yes. Priya Mataji.
See, if you are a young child, for you, one very simple method I'll tell you. What? Yeah, for you. See, I told many devotees sitting, so I told a very elaborate answer. For you, the control of the mind means mantra, means that which gives freedom to the mind. That is the chanting of the mantra. And if you wake up early in the morning and sit in a place where there is no disturbance. So sit in a puja room, light up a lamp, offer a flower, sit and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Many people don't know how this chanting gradually but surely it withdraws the mind from all distractions. Krishna says, Yato Yato Nishchalati Manaschanchala Mastiram. Tadastato Nyanyeta Atmani Rosham. The more you pull the mind back to hear the sound, you are actually developing concentration. You understand, no? Distractions will go away. And mind definitely becomes calm. Like you have a mobile, which is 100% discharged mobile. You have seen sometimes. Huh? But in the morning time, you wake up, you see the mobile is dead practically. You think it's gone now. Huh? Then you connect to the charger. The beauty of connecting to the charger is as soon as you connect, you can directly start talking. Not that it has to be 100% charged. Similarly, chanting also. Even if your chanting is not very great, even with distraction, you chant, still you get benefit. Isn't yeah, good realization. So, also, you all charge the mobile 100% or you charge 20% and take it. That means all 16 rounds is finish and go. Correct? If you chant 2 rounds and leave it, you will always have tension all day. Rounds are not over, correct? So in this way, you try getting up early in the morning and chanting, you see the difference. Okay? Because Hanuman, you see, all monkeys are hyperactive except Hanuman. Why? Hanuman is chanting Ram. Hanuman is calm, is chanting Ram Nam. That is all right. Now we can conclude that.
One last question.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Right.
thank you for the wonderful lecture and inspiring us to devote our life to the devotional life. So I have a
See,
question.
you saw how amazing our Shastras are. They don't say one shirt fits all. Correct, no? Like there are various stages. So people coming to ISKCON many times, why sometimes people quarrel or fight? Because somebody is trying to become too much detached in a premature stage. And that causes turbulence at home. So one should know how to gradually progress through these stages. Anarthavritti, Nishtha, Ruchi. Go ahead, Mike.
Yes, so my question was exactly the same which you told now.
Uh.
So you told for family we can like lower our spiritual standard even
Yeah.
if family is not chanting at all.
Yeah.
So when let's suppose I'm on a very premature stage, just starting the spiritual journey. So when I do that, so I get a feeling of a spiritual guilt, and
You get a feeling of
spiritual guilt, like I'm not
spiritual
doing guilt.
guilt. Right,
Yeah,
right.
so I'm not
Yeah.
doing chanting or maybe not reading if my reading is not
Yeah.
done.
No,
So-
instead of feeling spiritual guilt, you can actually offer a prayer to Lord. You can say that because, for example, a husband and wife, if they remain together for their whole life, then they will please both side parents, correct? No? Husband side and wife side, both will be happy. And also, one should know that we all are having two type of karma. One karma is individual karma. Another one is the collective karma that comes as a family. We cannot escape and run away from that. And let me give you an example. One Mataji, she was a super spiritual lady, and she had deities at home and worshipping, and she was organizing a program, every week, and 100 people used to come, and she was like a goddess practically. Such an amazing lady she was. And but her husband was not even chanting one round. He was not a devotee. He never used to come to temple. He used to even drink also. He used to drink, he used to smoke, he used to eat meat. But then once she became a devotee, she told him that, please don't force me to cook meat for you. I cannot cook because I am a devotee now. He told her, no problem, I will eat in the hotel outside. You don't have to cook for me. So at one point of time, she met her spiritual master and said, I am fed up with this fellow. See, it's like fire and water. Now, how can we live as a family? So, as a woman, you need material support. Of a man who has to protect your body and he has to give you some financial security. Without which a woman cannot live simply in a society. Society is very dangerous nowadays, very exploitative. So our Guru asked her, Is he not bringing, the husband means three things he has to do: protector, provider, guider. He is protecting you, he is also providing for you, provisions he is bringing. And he is supposed to guide you, which is not able to guide you. So you guide him. He is supposed to play that role, he is not playing, so you can play that role. Whoever is spiritually superior in a family, they can take that role. And also he told that if you leave him, then you will lose that protection what you are getting. Right now you see he is stopping you from doing the program at home. He said no. She even said sometimes he serves prasad also he serves. He likes devotees but he won't chant. He has his mustache, he has his beard, he has his own material circle of friends and he will do everything. But he is not anti-devotees, he is not offensive. Maharaj, it's a big qualification, he said. It's a very big qualification. He is not anti-devotees. He is not like Hiranyakashipu who was stopping Prahlad, from devotion service. After this, Mataji heard spiritual master, her whole paradigm changed. She could see that she is also getting some support from him. So in this way, all of us are put in a certain type of situation. One of the things also my Guru Maharaj used to say is, if you are a spouse, don't try to preach and make the other person a devotee. That will not work. Because relatives take you very, very cheaply. They will not, when I used to go home, I preached to my sisters, I preached to mother. Mother immediately took mala and she started chanting. My sisters also listened to me. But my father, absolutely, he would tell me, who are you to teach me? He would take me very lightly. But one time I had taken Gaurang Prabhu and went home. And when I went to take bath, I saw my father talking to him 2 hours. And 2 hours, Gaurang Prabhu explained everything about ISKCON and practices and everything. So I asked my father, see, you are listening to that fellow, why not me? And Gaurang Prabhu told me, my mother won't listen to me, you talk to my mother. So it is a case in most families. It's like that. So what every Mataji should do, your job would be to hand over the husband to a senior, mature devotee and request the devotee, Prabhuji, please preach to my husband and make him a devotee. Or any of your men, your wife is not a devotee, you should hand your wife to a senior Mataji who is very mature and loving and caring, and they will shelter them very well. And you only play the role which you are supposed to play for them, as a husband or as a wife, and be kind to them. They will see that you are not trying to push them. Correct, no? Rather somebody else is pushing. Let them get the push from somebody and you give the supportive role. And then you will see people eventually become devotees. All right? Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So this Thursday morning